Welcome back to New Day. What started out as a trip to paradise turned into a nightmare. An Arizona couple say they found themselves abandoned at sea on their first official scuba diving trip. We're going to talk with the Mendenhalls live in just a second, but first, here's a little bit more of their story.
So cute.
Jake and Lexa Mendenhall love adventure and wanted to celebrate their first wedding anniversary in Thailand, taking along a GoPro camera to document the trip. They mingled with exotic wildlife, even fearlessly posing next to a tiger. Yet they say the most harrowing moment of their trip came unexpectedly while they were scuba diving. After enjoying 2 carefree dives, they came to the surface only to discover their boat was gone. They were abandoned in the middle of the ocean, they say. The couple and 5 other divers spent the next 40 minutes stranded at sea as if straight out of the film Open Water. The couple began to panic. It was getting late, cold, and dark. Lexa had seen sharks swimming nearby. Another diver waved an inflatable tube, they say, as an SOS signal, the last moment Jake captured before his camera battery died. Then, in a stroke of luck, a snorkel boat passed by and rescued them. As Alexa was helped aboard, she injured her chin. Jake suffered seasickness. Both were taken to a local hospital. Later, they learned their dive boat had electrical problems and went back to shore, and they say the captain was supposed to change boats and come back for them, but never did. All right, here to talk more about this is Jake and Lexa Mendenhall. Great to see you both. What a harrowing story and what's supposed to be so much fun.
I know it.
What did you think, Lexa, when you came to the surface and you didn't see the boat?
I think there are a few different things going through my mind at that point. The fact that I expected to see the boat, right when we came up, and that it was getting darker, and that nothing was on the horizon, not our boat, but no other boats. So it was a little moment of panic, and my loving hubby here, he's good at calming me down, so he's constantly, it's okay, we'll be fine, we'll figure this out, it's okay, it'll be okay.
So what are the you have 2 instructors with you, what are they telling you while you're up, when you're on the surface waiting for someone to come get you?
When we finally obviously got to the surface, they were trying to reassure us that the boat would be back, that if there was any sort of a problem, they would tow them. The concern that I had is, where were they? I mean, why didn't they pick us up first? And, what actually happened? So they definitely were trying to calm us and tell us that someone would be on their way.
And was there they said there was an electrical problem with the boat, essentially. Did you sense any trouble before you even got in the water the first time? Was there any trouble with the boat throughout that period of time that you were on it?
I noticed that the captain was fiddling with the engine quite a bit and had to stop and start it a couple times as we were going through, getting actually to the dive site. So I could tell maybe there was something going on. Absolutely.
And the dive company, they sent us a statement saying that the captain didn't leave, that he couldn't reach you, that when you all came to the surface, they could see you, the instructors could see the boat. And they also wrote, to be clear, at no point were the divers in any danger. Exact protocol was followed. Does that change anything for you? Did they convey this to you when you finally got back to land, that protocol was followed, that they were sending another boat, that this all went, they followed protocol?
I think that their idea of a perfectly safe situation. They're expert divers. They've been down many times. It was our first dive. We'd never been scuba diving before, so she had tried to say, it's fine. Our driver will be back shortly. I'm sure he just is around the cove. Maybe he got confused. Maybe there's something wrong with the boat. He'll be back, I'm sure. But for us, as far as we could see, were cliffs. There may have been I'm sure there's a beach on the island that was near us, but we couldn't see a beach for as long as, we were looking around. And the fact that we had just dove with sharks, whatever kind of species they may have been, I am terrified of sharks. So it was just, maybe different ideas of what is safe and what might not be.
What were you thinking the worst when you're there, you're treading water, you have instructors are trying to calm you down, Jake? What's going through your mind? Are you thinking...
Well, initially, I'm trying to be the tough husband,
Right.
Everything's going to be okay. But inside, I was going directly towards, where do we go? What do we do? Just in case, someone doesn't come back. And to follow up on that question, what if something did happen right before we got to the surface? What if I got the bends? What if I passed out? What if she hit the reef, and was bleeding? There's so many scenarios that could have happened. We're in the ocean. So I definitely was nervous.
Regardless of who's at fault or not, it's a scary experience, especially, well, for any scuba diver, but especially on your first dive. I'm sure you guys have talked about this since. Will you ever go diving again, or is this the extent of your foray into that sport?
Well, I think we definitely would go again. Every moment we spent underwater was beautiful. The coral, the fish, everything. It was awesome. Just a rough experience after that. So I think we would go again under perhaps different circumstances.
You now have a very amazing story to tell and a lot of pictures and video to go with it. Not one that you probably wanted to have coming back on your anniversary trip, but great to meet you both. Glad you're back on land safely. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right.